Ninja Kiwi is on an absolute tear with these boss events, as today we have Elite Phase on Flooded Valley. It's an expert map. Now, how long has it been since we've seen a boss on an expert map? Well, it's actually been a decent amount of time. I don't even remember what the last one was, but what I do know is that these guys are pretty much as tricky as it gets. So the track is super short, and I guess to make things a little bit worse, the boss is Phase, which does cover a certain percentage of the track each time you proc a skull. Now, there are some things happening with the rules which I wanted to show you guys. So for example, the Bloons speed and the Moai speed have actually been reduced. The boss health has been reduced to 75%, and the speed has been reduced by about half. Now, some interesting things happening with the towers. You cannot use any other hero except Silas, so that's why we started with Silas. Mid-path Desperado banned, and then you might be like, well, I'm gonna use some water-based monkeys. Nope, all of them banned. Buccaneer, Sub, Mermonkey, they are not allowed in this event. So I guess Ninja Kiwi's idea for this specific event is that they want us to use Silas and his Artiquint platform to place towers in the water. But there's also like a significant landmass here on the left side, which is going to be enough to get the farming going for sure. Now, I've actually forgotten, if you don't have Silas unlocked, because he's a new hero, he came out like a week ago, maybe even less than that, can you guys still use Silas in this event? Because if not, it might make things a little bit more difficult, because they don't even let you use, you know, these water-based monkeys. So I'm not exactly sure how you can defend by not using Silas, but something else that I wanted to try in this event for the first time is going to be using the new Banana Farmer Pro in an actual game. I'm super excited about this guy. I know that guy makes a lot of money, especially the Millipede, which improves the cash generated by all of these farms around it. So I'm very, very excited to get that thing going. I'm not sure how you guys feel about that type of a power in the game. I mean, on one hand, it's a power and it's supposed to help you, but on the other hand, I don't know, does it feel like cheating? Would you guys consider that it's cheating? I have no verdict. I would love to keep using the Banana Farmer Pro in my games, but I'm gonna ask you guys, and then whatever you guys decide is the way that we're gonna be going, you know, ahead in all of my videos, because I usually do make these boss videos every week. Alright, so let me get a village, which is gonna go like this. Is it gonna get at least 3 farms if I go for the bigger radius? Yeah, it is. Alright. So let's get the discount going on this village and see how far we can go by only using Silas and the Dark Monkey. Silas' early game is actually not that bad, so we might get away with like a marketplace or two. Yeah, let me buy the first marketplace. Let's use the level 3 ability for these purple balloons, and then I think we could probably buy something like, I don't know, like a wizard, I was thinking, because this is what I did in my normal run. So let's have it like this. We're gonna start off with the Wall of Fire. Okay, so I just bought the last marketplace, and I think it's time for us to drop the Banana Farmer. Now, in my normal run, I had it like this, which was actually a great spot at the end. In the same spot, have it like this. Is gonna collect from everything, and then I think I'm gonna go for, let's stop at the regrow bananas. Sure, let's go like this and then target just one of these guys. Now let's also get some other type of defense going. So let's use the level 3 ability, by the way, for these purples, and let me do this actually. Let's go for the balloon trap. I think we're gonna stop at 1. It would be nice to get 2 balloon traps, one from the top side, one from the bottom, because the balloons come out from 2 directions. But I don't think we're gonna over farm in this one. And actually, something that I did for the normal one, which I'm gonna do like this as well. So you have the trap like this, and then if it's in range of the Banana Farmer, is gonna be able to collect it. So you're getting so much value out of this guy. Alright, so how do we deal with the tier 1 boss? Well, Ninja Kiwi was very nice enough to let basically all the towers that are good versus bosses inside of this game. So you have the sniper, we have the Mad for the tier 2, we can buy the Dark Dragon for the tier 3. You guys know how it goes. So let me start things off with this thing. Actually, let these farms reduce a little bit of cash, and then I'm gonna go for the Elite Defender. Let's try sell as little of these farms as possible. So sell this one, that's gonna be the full auto. And now the question is if this guy is gonna survive. Now the thing that happens is the more of the track Phase covers, basically this guy gets extra attack speed, but we might want to buy something like, I guess, a jungle drums and maybe even an alchemist, honestly. Yeah, let's just get something like, this is gonna be a fast one, by the way. All these tiers are gonna go super fast because you don't exactly have a lot of time to pop them. So you either, you know, deal with the boss pretty fast, or this guy's just gonna go away. And this is, I don't know, guys, he's like halfway through the map. Come on, look at this map. Bosses on extra maps are definitely not fun. We are gonna get extra attack speed on the sniper, by the way, because Phase is like at 50% of the track. I should probably buy the stronger stim as well, which I'm actually gonna do. And then, I mean, what are we doing? Can we help this guy out a little bit? I mean, maybe something like an Embrittlement Ice down here is gonna be nice. Let me have it like this. Oh my god, we're halfway there. This guy's gonna jump like 3 more times. Thankfully, the jumps are percentage based, based on the distance of the track. Yeah, there you go. So the jumps are not going to be scary, but him just covering a lot of track because the map is short is going to be the annoying part. So let's get to 2.3. It's going to be like +1 damage, but I think it's going to go a long way. Oh my god, I can't believe this thing. Are we actually going to defend it? If not, I guess we could just rebuy the same setup, just do everything a lot faster. No. And the spawn point is getting moved by a lot, actually. Let me just dump some Silas abilities. I guess no way. Are we actually going to do it? Oh, please tell me that we're popping this boss. The spawn point is like right next to the exit. We do take care of the boss. Now, are we going to leak some Bloons? Nope, the spawn point gets moved back. There we go. Alright, so all start is off as soon as this round ends. We're going to need to redo basically the entirety of this farming. Alright, I don't want to have another tier of boss be that close ever again. So let's redo the entirety of the farming. I want to move the village a little bit, actually. I don't like the placement as much. So maybe like this is gonna be a little bit better. Let's buy a couple more villages because we're going for the Minneapolis, and then let's buy a couple more of these farms, but we need to make sure that one of them is at least the top at the BRF. Let's buy one more marketplace, and then we need to buy some defensive towers actually because we're going into the 50s. So go like this, then I guess we can just save up some cash to make this guy into the BRF. Let's sell the Umbrella Dice as well. Get this guy up to the Dragon's Breath. I'm gonna give him a 320 Alchemist. The Dark Monkey can be sold now, and I think we're fine. Actually, let me just move the trap, by the way, and see how we're doing. 49, a lot of ceramics. I think we're gonna be fine. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, they actually did put some new icons on the Banana Farmer Pro in the latest update. So now we have the cow bananas, and then we have the regrow bananas. This thing is, by the way, generating a lot of regrow bananas. Actually, I think everyone is right. I just don't think we can see it onto these bottom path farms because they quote-unquote automatically collect. Alright, so let's start getting ready for the next tier of boss. Here's what we're gonna do. We are going to disconnect this tech bot from the NG because I want to buy a mat. They were very kind to leave the mat inside the roster of available towers. So I'm going to buy the mat, I'm going to overclock it, and hopefully that's going to be fine. And if we can pull this tier off without having to sell any farms, that's going to be amazing. So the boss is out, the money's not doing that well, guys. I think we're gonna have to sell something. So let's get rid of these marketplaces up top. It's still not enough, so I'm gonna sell one of these bomb farms. Buy the mat. Let's have the overclock on the mat. Let me just dump the. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage. I mean, is it gonna be enough? Because we need to go through 5 skulls. I hope it is. All right, let's overclock. We're halfway there. The boss is jumping a lot, and I guess if we, yeah, definitely. So the spawn point getting moved is probably the most important thing, right? So we need to buy something else to defend. It's round 62. You guys know what? No, I hate this. I hate this. No, the spawn point is literally next to the exit. Okay, so I'm going to sell the Alchemist, and here's what I'm going to buy. Find fast enough. I'm going to buy a Glaive Lord that's 46 lives. By the way, we barely got it. All right, I'm going to get a Glaive Lord, and we should keep this thing on screen basically forever. Let's use the Mad ability to just move the spawn point again for one last time, and then as long as the ability is active, we should be fine. By the way, there's like around 63 on the field. Not sure if you guys are looking up top. Let's use the Silas level 10 ability to create some ice walls so that nothing accidentally leaks, and we're gonna take care of the boss pretty easily, it seems like. Yeah, there we go. Let me just see. Yeah, let's turn off all the starts as soon as 63 ends. We are gonna need to basically reconstitute the farming yet again. All right, so let me sell the mat, and let's actually sell some of these guys. Let's get the Banana Central, and I think I'm gonna sell the Wizard, and I will keep the Glaive Lord just because this guy is gonna defend easily by himself. He is a lot of money, by the way, 26, which we could be putting it back into farms, but I'm not gonna do that actually. All right, so let's bring the overclock back to the Banana Central and then hook it up to the Tech Bot. And I think the next thing we're going for is gonna be the Ultra Boost, a bunch of 420 farms, and I think after this point you guys pretty much know how it goes. So I'm gonna see you guys in a second. Alright, so around 79, we're getting ready for the tier 3 boss, which I want to defeat by using the Dart Paragon. We are going to get a little bit higher of a degree than 20, because I want to do a couple of things. I'm going to get the Sacrificial Dart Monkeys, only a handful left to upgrade, but I also bought the second Crossbow Master down here, so this guy is going to be likely in the, what, the 30s, 40s maybe? Are we going to be putting any cash into it? I don't think so. Let's just keep it like this. So let's make this guy, I guess, over here, the Apex Plasma Master. Let's not put any cash into it and see what degree we get. That's gonna be a 32. Alright, I'm happy with a 32. This should be more than enough for the tier 3 boss, I think. Yeah, it's going super fast. The damage is overwhelming. It's just that, you know, regardless of what you do, Face is gonna cover a certain percentage of the track, and there's nothing that you can do about it. I mean, each jump is 8% of the track, so 40% of the track is just gonna be in jumps, right? And then add on top of that, you know, whatever he's gonna cover just by normally traveling the map. So about halfway halfway there with the HP, but also, you know, halfway there with the track as well. But yeah, this Dark Paragon damage is overwhelming for it. Also, the money is going very well, so we can do a couple of things. I was thinking of buying the Flying Fortress, so he starts collecting a little bit of bobs. But then again, I also want to be defeating the tier 5 by using the Wizard and NG combo, actually. So yeah, I'm just looking at those two Paragons specifically. Alright, so there goes the tier 3, and I think we're gonna leave the Dark Paragon in place because we have entered the free play mode, so we are gonna need some more serious defenses. But here's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna buy the Flying Fortress, so he starts collecting a little bit of pops. Let's try and see how many more farms we can fit here in the water. We can have 2 absolute zeros, by the way. I just noticed, because this guy at the bottom is an absolute zero, but because we're running Silas, this guy can become an absolute zero as well, so that means more space for farms. By the way, you guys want to check in with the banana farmer that we have, this guy, the melon pass specifically, $2.5 million. So what? Is this even correct? Let me check the Banana Central. 1.8. Yeah, this thing is just going bananas. Especially with the 10 Ultra Boost stacks and then this guy buffing it. Oh my god. Yep. It's questionable whether we should keep using this thing. I mean, it's super fun and it makes the farming a lot easier for only like 100 monkey money. I don't mind doing it, especially, you know, because it does serve a purpose. I mean, it still does collect bananas. It's just that this little other thing that it does is kind of insane. Let me actually just buy the Magus Perfectus. Let's see how much money we can put into this thing. Are we going all out? I think we are. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what degree we get. That is going to be a 56, which should be more than enough for the tier 5, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're doing a lot of damage, actually. We're not even using the Metamorphosis, but I am going to use it if it comes off cooldown, because the cooldown is like super long on this ability. So let's wait a little bit more, and then let's click the buttons so we gather a little bit of mana. There we go. The mana is full, so yeah, let's just do a test run for the tier 5. Let me just use the Metamorphosis, and we're playing with normal speed, by the way, so, and look at how it goes in normal speed. Yeah, this is just not even gonna be close, especially with the overclock from the NG Paragon, which we're gonna buy in a second. This thing is just owning the boss. It's still going, of course it is. This is gonna get crazy on the tier 5, guys. There we go. That was the fastest pop on a boss so far, and it's the tier 4. The further we go, the faster we seem to be popping them. Alright, just a quick check-in with you guys. It's round 110. We have $1.5 million, and I want to buy the Master Builder. I bought a bunch of these sacrificial NGs, and I think we need to add a little of cash so we get some up. Actually, do we even care about the uptime on the ability? Because the map is super short. I don't think we do. I'm just gonna put in like 150k into this thing. Let's see what degree we get. It's a 29. You know what? I'm fine with that thing. Let's keep it as a 29. Alright, one last round. 119. I bought all the tier 5s for the Ace Paragon. That's the last one that we're gonna buy. So as soon as this round ends, let me first off sell all these farms and see how much money we're gonna end up with. So that's gonna be about 2.5 million, which should be more than enough for a decent degree on our Goliath. And let's buy the Goliath, put almost all the money into this thing. We want to leave a little bit for some damage amplification towers, so put something like this. Let's see what degree we get. I also kept the banana farm. That's a 54 in the Goliath. I'm happy with that thing. Let's have the ability like this, and I want to show you guys the Banana Farmer Pro, which made $3.7 million. Well, actually he didn't make, he collected 3.7 million, but he did have a huge say in this number. So let's sell him. Let's sell this ice here on the side. We need to buy one more tower, go like this, set this guy on strong, and maybe we can also buy a super build now that I think about this, and we can keep moving it along the track. We can have 2 actually, thanks to Silas. So let's have the one like this, and that's perfect, guys. Look at this thing, 3.6k left. That is basically all that we need for this boss, hopefully. So how's the mana doing on the wizard? It's collecting. All right, so let's start things off with the, I guess I'm gonna start this off with the Goliath ability. Let's also make sure we place all these sentries from the NG. So now the boss come a little bit closer to the Wizard Paragon, while also keeping, you know, these sentries placed from the NG Paragon. One left to go, and I think the Wizard is, yeah, it's trying to attack, but let me just click this button so we fill up the mana, and then in a second we're just gonna have to go. Alright, so let's use a Goliath ability. This is the last sentry incoming from the NG Paragon. Let's see where the boss is at and how the HP is doing. Alright, so let's check the mana one last time. Okay, so fill it up, and then let's do the thing. So overclock onto the wizard. It's up. The Metamorphosis is up. Boo. I'm gonna use it, and let's see how fast this HP is gonna go down. It's going down super fast, guys. I mean, hopefully this is enough. I think it's gonna be enough as long as, you know, the duration lasts, which is, it's bound to last. I mean, it's like 4,000 1000 mana that is draining per second. So we're about halfway there with the ability for sure. We're also gonna have our Goliath ability ready to go once this Wizard ability is down. But yeah, the damage is super high. Look at where the boss is at. 2 more jumps left. Oh my god, this is gonna get close regardless of how you look at it. So I use the Goliath ability. Hopefully it does it did a decent amount of damage. I guess we could have microed it a little bit better. Go like this. So we're gonna get an Armor Metamorphosis. I don't know, it's gonna be close. It's not looking like it. Let's overclock the Goliath then while we have the Metamorphosis on cooldown. Then we're gonna have likely one more Goliath ability before this thing ends. So that's gonna be the last jump. I see the Metamorphosis off cooldown. Wait a minute, do we have mana for this? We do. Okay, so let's use the Metamorphosis. And this thing should destroy the boss by itself. We're also going to drop one more Goliath ability, and there it is. This is super close, guys. I mean, yeah, you really have to farm very well on this boss, because look at where this thing popped, like right next to the exit. And I guess that's how NinjaQ envisioned this event, but that was super fun. Even though it's an extra map, it was a super fun boss event to play. Alright, then that's it. That's going to be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm going to see you all in the next one.